afternoon freezer meal group. It's Saturday and it's the day that I do my freezer meal prep. And what's going to be different this time around is that 2 of the recipes that we're going to go over are in my brand new cookbook, Fix8, which has 101 recipes following the 21-day fix program. And so the recipe we're going to make today is the turkey sloppy joe recipe. And my family loves sloppy joe, so I thought that would be a good choice. And the first thing that I do is I take a look at the recipe, and I always have to triple it because I always make a triple recipe when I go to the store. And the second thing that I do is I take a look to see what's going to take the longest. So I knew the first thing that was going to take a while was getting the ground meat taken care of. And so the recipe calls for ground turkey, but I only had super lean ground beef right now. And so I stuck all that in my crock pot, and I got that all going. The second thing was going to be the grandma's sauce, and so what I did was I got all the ingredients together for that, including the whole tomatoes with basil, and it actually calls for basil separate, but I happened to buy these tomatoes that had the basil with it. And I put that in my Ninja blender and blended that with all the ingredients that it takes, which is some of the same ingredients that are in the sloppy joe recipe, the only difference being red wine, which I used red wine vinegar instead of that. And I put all of that into my stock pot here and let that simmer while I did everything else. So that was the 2 things that were going to take the longest. And then everything else that you see here, the olive oil, salt, pepper, Worcestershire, the organic tomato paste, the hot sauce, the agave, and the parsley, onion, garlic, and there's also red bell pepper, but that's already in my skillet that's over here because I was cooking that while I was measuring my sauce, is everything that goes in there. And so what you can do is just get a big, huge, large bowl. So my large bowl has all of those ingredients that are there on my counter in there, and then it has the grandma's sauce in it. And just mix everything that you have in there. So all of my onions and peppers and garlic can go in there. And then all of my ground meat, and mix that all together. And then once I would have that all mixed together, then what I would do is get out my gallon-sized double zip freezer bags, and I would make this into 3 meals. So there's enough in here to make 3 huge freezer meals that would serve around 4 to 6 people, depending on how much you do for sides with it. If you have more sides, then obviously you can feed more people. And what I do, for me to make it simpler, is I take leftovers to work for lunch the next day. So there's usually enough for me to do that, and then I don't have to worry about what I'm going to take to lunch at work the next day. So that's Turkey Sloppy Joes out of the new Fix8 cookbook. I'll post the recipe later on Facebook today, and I hope you enjoyed as much as I do.